Hi everyone, welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to be creating something called the Toposolid. The Toposolid is this area right here. It's highlighted in blue because I'm hovering over it. And this is the ground and the grass that surrounds your home. This is kind of like your canvas for when you are doing a landscape for your home. If you want to add driveways, trees, shrubs, anything like that, you'll need to have a Toposolid to start. So we'll walk through the steps of getting started with Toposolid in this video. I already have one created, so I'm going to click on it and I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard so that we can create this from scratch. This is an example of the bungalow design. This bungalow has a garage right here where my cursor is going around, and then it has a full depth basement over here. So we will talk about that further in another video after we've created our Toposolid and why those two differences in foundation depths is important. So for now, we are going to create this Toposolid, and to do that, we are going to use this tab where my cursor is called Massing and Site, and Toposolid is right here. So we're going to click that. I've already created a Toposolid, and you can see this one's called Toposolid Grass. When you start, you will have this option right here, Toposolid 1. So we're going to start with that option on this design. A couple things we're going to need to change is the view. First of all, working in 3D view, it's better to be able to look at this from above. So we could open up our first floor plan and work off of that. We can see the house clearly. We are going to change the level. We're going to change this to first floor. And here we've got a depth of -2 feet. That is where you would want the ground to be below your first floor. The ground or the grade level of the property should always be lower than the height of your front door, to prevent water or snow runoff water from actually entering the house. So if you have 0 here, what you would do is you would highlight that and put in -2 feet. Now, if you're working on the bungalow and you've created a garage, it's likely that you'll have a level called grade, and then you could just select that and you would have this height offset just be 0. Okay, so either way works. In this case, we do have grade, so we'll put it 0 in there, click apply. And now before we click the green check mark, what we need to do is we need to set up this Toposolid, because right now it's just a gray generic color, and that's not going to work really well for the purposes of having a model that looks realistic. So to change this, we're going to click on Edit Type. And the first thing you'll want to do is come over here and duplicate Toposolid 1. We don't want to lose Toposolid 1, so we're going to create our new Toposolid, and we can call this Toposolid Grass. I do already have Toposolid Grass in my model, so I'm going to call this Toposolid Grass 2, and we'll click OK. So next step, we're going to be editing the structure of our Toposolid. So we're going to click this Edit button, and you can see right now it's just a generic material, and we're going to change this. So if we click on the by category, now that it's highlighted blue, and we're going to click this little button with the 3 dots, and we're going to look for material called earth. So we can use the scroll bar, and we can scroll down until we get to earth, and we can click it. And we can also come up here in the search bar and type earth, and it'll show up. So we can click on that. You get a little preview of what that looks like in realistic view, and we're pretty happy with that. So we're going to click OK. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to add some grass to make this look like a finished house on a finished site. So what I've done is I've clicked on right here, this tile where it says 1, it highlights the whole row. I'm going to click Insert. So I want to insert a row above. And for the structure here where we've got material, we are going to click our 3 buttons, and we'll come down and find grass. Now, likely you will not have grass. I'm pretty sure I already set this up as a material. So let's walk through the steps to set that up if you don't have it. So what you'll be doing is you'll be clicking on this button right here. You're going to create a new material. Okay, drop down menu gives you some options, and we want create new material. This is the material we've created. It's called default material. That name doesn't really work too well in terms of finding it again. So we're going to right click on that and we're going to go to rename. I'm going to call this grass. I'm going to call it grass 2. You can just call it grass. And I called it grass 2 because of course I already had grass. Now to get the grass as a material, what you'll want to do is open up your asset browser. So that's this button right here. And there's all kinds of different materials available to you that don't show up here as default materials. So we opened up asset browser to get access to that. We're just going to scroll down until we find a category called grass. And you can see there's so many options, so we're just going to get through the F's. So it can be on G's. I'm going to slow down my scrolling so I don't pass it. So here's some options for grass. We're getting into it right now. Grass Bermuda, grass bluegrass, grass dark Bermuda, dark rye, generic, high quality. Lots of options. I'm partial, I think, to the dark rye, so I'm going to click on that. And now you can see where my cursor is. There are these two little arrows, and we're just going to click those so we can transfer that over to our new material, which is grass 2. Once we click those, that double arrow button, you can see that we've now gotten the grass image. And once we have that, we can click OK. So here in our structure tab, we can see that we've got our main structure is earth, and then what sits on top of that is grass. Now we're going to want to give this some thickness. So I think 2 inches is appropriate for height of grass. For the depth of the earth, I am going to put 6 feet 0 inches, and then I'll click OK. Finally, one more thing I want to do is here where it says coarse scale fill pattern, we're going to set this to earth. So we'll go to the box with the 3 dots and we'll just scroll down a little bit. I'm looking for earth. Okay, this is some cross hatching, which is a word that indicates these symbols, these lines. That's cross hatching. That's a pattern that's going to be applied when we're looking at this in some different views, which we will make use of in subsequent videos. For now, we're just going to set that up so we've got what we need later. I'm going to click OK, and then we'll click OK again. And now we'll click our green check mark. And I'm going to click continue because what I forgot to do is set up the boundary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use rectangle tool, and I'm just going to create a rectangle around my property, and now we'll click OK. You get an error and it says the highlighted Toposolid and floor overlap, and that's definitely true because our Toposolid right now is running right through our house. So in this case, if I started to walk down my stairs into the basement, I would just run into a big wall of dirt. So we're going to be fixing that later. For now, we'll take a look at our 3D view and make sure this looks appropriate. We can orbit around. And there is our Toposolid, so we're ready to go. We can also see the footings of our house poking out beneath that. Okay, so thanks for your time watching this video. We're going to pick it up in the next video.